Happy Wednesday morning, folks. Brad here, and I'm going to clean up a few old Daredevils that I picked up at the East Coast Comic Expo over the weekend, and chat about my day yesterday. I had a pretty cool day yesterday. Did a lot of comic book cleaning and pressing, and we got an opportunity that's kind of cool at the expo over the weekend. Mr. Scott Tingley was chatting it up with a nice lady named Susan. And she is with LC First Nations, I guess. She's kind of a bit of a dynamo, this one. She's pretty cool. She used to be the chief. She ran for the NDP party at one point. Anyway, long story short, she wants to put together a First Nations comic con, kind of like we did with the ECCE. The real cool thing is this is the first time it's ever been done on First Nations land. So she basically wants to put this together in like 7 weeks out in Elsie Booktook. And so we're helping her with it as best we can. She's got a pretty cool team out there and stuff, but she doesn't really know a lot of the logistics of the comic book convention side of it. And I'm helping her out with a website. Derek was working on a logo for her last night. I got her a nice sponsorship request letter that she's going to use to go after some big sponsors and stuff. So yeah, that was very, very exciting. Kind of all came together really, really quickly. And we put it out on the ECCE group chat, who wants to help out, and a bunch of the boys were like, yep. So yeah, we're going to see what we can do to help her make this happen without it, taking up a ton of our time. But like the website's not going to be too bad. She's got a few guests already confirmed, and some guests that we have. Like she recruited from our show, which was great. And those guys are all on board, it seems. So yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. That's going to be hopefully, well, it is. I think she's generating a press release now. So it's August 9th out in Elsie Booktook. Now, the whole point of it is she wants to get the natives, like her crew, into comic books and art. Not that they're not. They're very, very artistic, but I don't know, cool little avenue for them to come and meet some comic book creators. And I'm gonna bring Squeaky Clean there. I think we're the first vendor for this event, which is pretty cool. And hopefully it sparks some kind of an interest in their culture to read comic books. Really neat. This one looks pretty good. Now this guy here is the one I always love cleaning this one, and I don't know if you guys can see it, how grimy it is. Like when I videotape these, I can show it like this, and I can see through the camera lens that looks all grimy. But then when I put it on YouTube, you can't tell. Anyways, like just right then, I looked through and yeah, it looked pretty grimy. But let's do a little before and after. I'll get up close after I give this the rub and scrub treatment. What else? Oh, got to play some Fortnite last night with Marvel writer Ed Brisson. That was awesome. Ed's a good cat. Well, we've known each other for years because of the Comic Expo, and a couple of years ago, I got to do something really cool, which I thought I got to host a panel with Ed and Jed and Jed McKay, who's another one of our buddies, and Jim Zub, which was fun. First time I'd ever hosted a panel. You know what? It's probably just going to be better to rub. Yeah, I don't need to give it a scrub. Yeah, let's just do this. This is getting it all clean. In here, though, I'm going to go with this because I don't want to take off any color. So for in the itty bitty cracks areas, use this. Normally I would actually go all the way through with this guy, but it didn't seem to be doing a whole lot. But it does kind of tend to loosen up the dirt. So yeah, I guess I am still going to do it this way. You know, it just loosens it up a bit. And then I'll go over it with the magic eraser. Okay. So. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, you can tell big difference. I can at least through this lens, but again, when I load it on YouTube, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's a pretty fun day. Yes, I got a lot of stuff cleaned up on the website front of it. Really, the big things, I cleaned up my inbox, so I know what I have to do. There's a few things that slipped through the cracks last week I got to take care of today. Nothing too time consuming. Oh, it's comic book day today, Wednesday. Everybody loves hump day for comic books. I love getting my comics on Wednesday, but today's not going to be as fun because usually I get them and then I can go sit out on the deck, hang out with the dog and the wife, and read comic books in the afternoon. But it's going to be rainy and gross, so that's not going to happen today. I'll have to save it for a sunny day. Like, you see that stain there, like, that's not coming off. It did get a little better, though, with a little scrub. Okay, so that's it for that guy. And this one here will be pretty quick. I love these 15 centers. They are so fun to, not so fun, but, like, they are actually quite enjoyable to clean. The paper is very smooth. Dirt just pops right off it when you give it a little rub. It was great to see a lot of the folks that I don't get to see all the time at the expo, and I'm surprised the amount of people that actually watch these videos. Yeah, it's always a trip. Got to see my good buddy Mike Walton. Mike's always fun. He's a very nice fella. He was one of the guys that I was talking yesterday about a vendor that was a bit of a dick that we had, and he basically like was telling Mike how to price his books, and then like his books were like double what they should have been. The guy was a freaking douche. Anyway, he went over and Keith had a book for like $350, which was worth like $350, and he tried to beat him up to $200 for it. Can't do that stuff, man. Just can't do that stuff. But I found out afterwards. This kind of sounds a little mean, but his helper, he had brought a helper with him, and knocked over a box of comics, or knocked over a table of comics after everybody had left, because they were one of the last ones loading up. And it was quite the mess. Apparently, it took them a good while to pick them all up, and because he was such a dick to everybody for the 2 days he was there, nobody really wanted to help him. So it's kind of a karma thing. It is what it is. You gotta be cool, man. You gotta be cool when you're dealing with people. You gotta walk around like your poop don't stink all the time. Alright, I got a couple more here. I'm gonna... It's a nice one. Real nice 12 center. This one will make its way into the collection because I think it's nicer than the one I have. The one I have is not bad, but this is really nice. Oh, so soothing. right. Okay. Now this looks nice and clean. Let's see how clean it actually is. We'll use a fresh side here. I can feel some grime on it, so it's not perfectly clean. Yeah. Oh, it's good seeing Ruben. Ruben comes up with Josh and Dino from St. John all the time. Big boy, big meaty boy. Oh, see how gross that is. Yeah, see? And I've been telling him for years, you should be wrestling. And he's a huge wrestling fan, too. And so I used to be kind of involved in local wrestling here with a company called IHW, where I kind of played like a Vince McMahon type of character. And Shano was there. He's a local radio DJ, but he's also a trained wrestler. He's been wrestling for a while. And so Ruben's kind of getting into it. I think he's being trained. And his brother, who's like a little guy apparently, and Ruben's like this big dude, who's like a little luchador, has trained with Shano in the past. So it was really cool putting those two together, because watching them connect the dots to who they knew, and oh my god, that's your brother, and all that stuff was wicked. But yeah, I'm very proud of Shano. He's dropped a ton of weight, looks great. Not literally a ton, but he's dropped a bit of weight, and looks great. He's in great shape. He loves wrestling, which I love to see, because he's been in situations where he's been on stage in front of thousands of people, bringing on big bands and stuff like that, and he was saying still that is nothing compared to the rush of even wrestling in front of 60 people. So yeah, I get it. Looks fun. I wish I had gone that route had I not bunged up my body early on in life. But that being said, if I had have taken care of myself and trained and all that jazz, I wouldn't have back problems. It probably would have disappeared by now. All right. Almost at the tail end of this. 5 nice Daredevil books to start off the day. There we go. Happy Wednesday, folks, and get your comics. I'm not sure what I have coming in today. I think there's some Star Wars. I think there's some Venom. Maybe some Deadpool. We'll have to wait and see. All right. That is it for today. You have a great one. We shall talk to you later.